so that's, 3 million, 4 million gallons, 3 million gallons a year, another one of those. It's gonna take a lot to get it up there, but.
Conversely, I mean, just kind of thinking outside the box, could, if their big, I'm speaking about two, if their big holdup is they would be giving up their debts that they have already built into their system, what if we were to merge our system with theirs, and okay, you guys want to control that, we just give them capacity and buy in as a stakeholder in their system?
Yeah, well, I guess what I was gonna say this too, just so you guys kind of knew, I think if it went to a true regional water project where you had us and 1 and 2 and 3, according to what KDHE was saying, I think Tom was there at that meeting, and Katie, it would no longer be City of Beloit water. It would be Solomon Valley Water District. You know, it's kind of how it would go, and we would all have equal voting rights. And I think that's kind of just as a cautionary tale, like, you know, if there's interest from all the parties, it gets to a whole new level of complexity in planning and trying to get this animal off the ground, because then you have a whole new entity that's going to, borrow the money and do the things to do this, and we still have some control over it, but we have, 2 votes, just like 2 would have 2 votes, and they would have 2 votes, and so it's just a whole interesting but different dynamic, and it has happened, but that's what, if KDHE, I think if we had all of us on board, I think KDHE would actually force us to go that regionalization route. That's kind of what they've done with some other entities. That's kind of the thing that's happening.
My thought is, I don't want to be the roadblock just because we have this control issue that
Sure.
we want to control it. I want to have cheap water and it's healthy. That's my goal.
I think your other issue with regionalization is timing. I mean, you're probably looking at a 5 to 10 year to really get that up and going. That is not something that happens in a year or two. It will take a lot of planning, and so that's a consideration, and if this is something that we really want to move forward with. Regionalization will take a lot of time. Not that it's a bad thing, but that's just one more thing to consider.
But if we were simply supplying water to rural versus becoming a regional entity, so let's say we tied into 3 and fed 3, but we weren't actually necessarily taking them on as a full partner in the running and operation of the facility, then we could maintain our own control and just basically be the seller.
It's still regionalization, but
It's not to the
we're
extent
also
of a board.
I think you get away with that. I think what would happen, if 2 was still having compliance issues, if they're just barely under. So let's say you got to the point where EPA forced them to say, you gotta do something, and we were at the same point, we had to force them to do something. Hey, that's where you'd see the perfect storm of KDHE saying, hey, sorry, everybody, they're gonna make you do it. I'm not saying, I think right now we can get away with, if we only had to do 1 and 3, just being their wholesale customers of ours, and if they're interested in doing that, we can go forward with it. But it's kind of interesting, just what we can talk with her at that meeting, Pete, that's kind of interesting. Regionalize or not, and when they force you to do it and not.
I don't think it's fair, I like the idea of a regional water system and everything, but I don't think it's fair to the citizens of Beloit that we wait another 10 years. Because we've been waiting and then things stall and then it goes away and we kick the can down the road and then we continue on with the same quality water we have. It's like, I think, we've got to signal, let's talk about it, but we're moving on. We got to keep this thing moving because we can't let it stall like it has in the past. Because then it stops and then council changes and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, more water's terrible here. Boy, we need to do something, we're this close, so we gotta keep it moving, in my opinion. And if they wanna come in, hey, come in, we'll make arrangements, figure out a formula that's gonna cost you X. You're gonna have some skin in the game moving forward whenever you come in. But I honestly feel we've gotta keep this thing moving. And I'd love to have them in, but I don't want to stop because the citizens of Beloit are who we represent, and that's who we got to take care of, in my opinion.
Well, we don't want to just jump off the cliff blind, but we don't want to be sitting here a year and a half from now going, well, what are we going to do about 2? We need, like you said, we need to make a decision, get all the facts together as soon as we can, make a decision, and step forward.
Well, how long ago was it we had a meeting for 2 and 3?
Well, before I was here.
It was over
so
a
it's
year
been-
ago.
Yeah, so it's been say 2
Year and a half.
years and we're still at the same place. They're not that interested in it, but we're interested. So we've got to take care of the citizens of Lloyd.
Yeah, three helped actually put money into the testing already, so they
Right.
actually already helped. It's the
Yeah.
two that wasn't.
Yeah, so I guess I can, I mean, if we're kind of wanna play with 4 with a pipeline, I mean, that's kind of maybe what I'm hearing at least from some people. Again, if I have one that can kind of really work, kind of see what all the numbers look like if we add those options, then I can go talk to them and say,
Because if we're looking at the future of Lloyd, the future of our community, we're willing to look ahead, war's gonna be the way we need to go.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
I mean,
Let's build it.
We just got the money.
I guess one question I do have.
Jerry's still here.
We've got this in place.
Excuse me, I'm having a mild heart attack.
We've got this in place
There's a
now.
defibrillator
We've had
over
this
there.
presentation.
Go ahead and get it, Jerry.
You're gonna,
if we have all the spreadsheets still.
you're gonna talk to 3 about
And
what's
two.
going on. Right, but I'm saying, what is our next step to go to progress from here?
I think personally, I think it's kind of taking what 3s and 2s data is and we'll see what it looks like in here and going and talking to them and say, hey, if we want to, this is what it's going to be if we all want to do it. To get, what's your interest? I mean, it's kind of an altar call at this point, come to Jesus meeting time is kind of my idea, so.
Yeah.
So do we need to establish a cutoff for an answer?
Yeah, no, wait.
Do we need to establish a cutoff then and say, if you don't tell us by November 1st that you're up or down on this, we're moving forward with
I was gonna
that?
say October 31st.
But
November
pretty well.
November 1st, enough time for them to, maybe they want to do a questionnaire of their water customers. Is that enough time for them to get something, first of all, notify them? for them
So I gotta
to
get
notice?
together with them, I don't know if they're gonna want me to go to the board or how they're going.
But I'm just saying, do we come up with that deadline and say, is it December 1st, January 1st, we can basically say, we want to go forward with this in 2018, so we need an answer by end of 2017 or else,
I'd say November 1st.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because the longer you delay it, the longer they're gonna delay making their
that's
decision.
right.
So either,
Well,
We're all
also
gonna have to
gives
step
a
up.
thought as to what you need to have done. And then,
Well, I'll see how fast they can get me in front of them, and then I'll try to, I'll say maybe 60
Why not
days
next-
after that type of idea,
why
and see if
not at
everybody's
our
fine
next
with that.
council meeting, you come back
Yep.
and say, okay, here's the date I think we want to go.
Yep, that'll work.
Does the council have a fail-safe date that by whatever we're gonna decide, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
No.
Well, I think
Keep
that,
delaying it forever again?
you mean if, I think that's what we're talking about, Terry, is they'd have to let us know, by November
If they
1st,
let you know, then,
then we're going.
okay.
Is the majority of the council leaning towards 4? I haven't heard anyone say anything
I
else.
am.
I am.
I want the new plant, I'm not convinced about the pipeline. And all the additional costs and
Well,
the new plant I like the sound of the new plant, I can't deny that, but I'm not.
So you're 3 or 4?
I'm 3 or 4.
Okay, so 1 and 2 are pretty much tabled, it would
Yeah.
basically come down to a vote.
Pretty
between
much,
3
it's,
and 4.
so, yeah, so we're putting in a new plan.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, because I would say 4, 4, I think would potentially come in cheaper, hopefully, I'm hoping that.
Yeah.
And 3, I'm really concerned about from the river, but that new type of stuff is gonna actually, I'm just afraid it's gonna cost us more in the long run to operate. I mean, I know John,
Replacing cartridges.
yeah, I think, you think if you look at that water, you take a cup of that out compared to a cup out of the lake, that's the only thing I'm nervous about. I think, I trust John's guesses, but, not guesses, but educated guesses, but that's the only thing that's, concerns me after 20 years of pumping that sludge through that thing. Are we gonna be like, oh man, this is.
okay, I'm sold on 4.
Well, I'm not trying, but, you pull a glass out of the lake, it looks like great, when you pull it out. It's like- So, anyways, okay.
Well, it's real easy to spend other people's money. Yes,
10 years.
yeah, we want to get the biggest bang for our buck. And if we can spend just a few more dollars and get that pipeline, which will, as everybody has said, and the figures agree that it will cut the cost down, so.
it'll be nice sometime to sit in a restaurant and hear somebody say, boy, Lloyd's water You don't wanna drink it.
What's that one town that sells their water, 'cause it's like the best tasting water in Kansas?
Oh, there's several.
Longford, they're wild.
Conway Springs?
Bullet bottle.
Just, what's the life expectancy of a pipeline from,
Oh,
Oh, plastic pipe, you're probably looking at least 60 years. Yeah.
I mean,
what's the life expectancy of this plant too? I mean, that's a good question.
50 plus.
50 plus.
Components will have to be.
so the pipeline might last longer than the
I won't say alter one way or the other, but it's 30 years experience in the river here. We've looked at from, turbidity is how we measure the clarity of the water. Wintertime, we might be down to a 5. Heavy rainstorm, we're up over 4,000, which is chocolate milk, and then all the messes involved in treating that. And like I said, regulations will not get lighter.
John, what was the turbidity coming out of the lake, which would be the pipeline?
It's like, it runs 3 to 10 on average. And even during heavy rain, I kind of looked at it because, you could see all the, the 2 forks of Solomon River coming in, and they were just milky, and you got to the other end of the lake after, a couple of weeks, and it was still pretty clear. So it has a dilution effect, and it has,
It's a natural sediment.
and a natural travel time from one end to the other, yeah.
Well, Jason, put that together and we'll.
All right.
Look at it.
So next week?
I'll done by next week. Put on the list.
Like, Monday?
How fast Mandy can crunch. Yeah, and I do want to say, Mandy's brilliant when it comes to this stuff. So this is her putting this stuff together. She did awesome with it. I kind of said, hey, I'd like to see this, or I'd like to see that. She knows the rates so well, knows our stuff, and where everything's at, and man, she just put it all together and does a great job with it. So it's huge.
Thank
kudos
you.
to you.
Thank you.
So, makes it easy to crunch numbers and say, let's play with it a little bit, so.
So what's the last short thing we have to discuss?
Well, I think what might be best what I'd really like to do is try to schedule, and that's maybe what we just do. I kind of just sent you, you've got a nice list of all those projects. I kind of did some sort of a ranking profile, just to start us off that discussion. It is interesting, a lot, I did the top, what was it, like 25 or 30 on each side, and a lot of the staff ones, like probably 75% of them were the same as what just the scoring, that I kind of came up with, said kind of the same stuff. So we had a lot of the same things. There's a lot more spreadsheets that I have kind of built and framed out that I'm going to trickle this through, for example. Because I kind of look at this more as just a project list, CIP, I wanted to say this is only funded by CIPs, it's not. There's a lot of other fundings that are going to fund this. This is just to say, here's all the things that we can think of that we need to start addressing. Now, we all got an email from a resident here that had a lot of those things, a couple things listed, and I'm preparing a little bit of a response to say, hey, we got this all on the list. That's exactly why I want to build this. This is what I used before. I can always say, hey, 2019, it's like that's when we're going to do that, or we're schedule it. So it's going to be really awesome to have this fully built out and do that. But I feel it'd be good to kind of discuss these, go through kind of that ranking criteria, just kind of make sure that we're all on the same page, and maybe buy you guys some barbecue, we have a little barbecue lunch and do that, dinner and do that. So I didn't know kind of what. Make it open to the public, obviously people can come and participate, because it is kind of everything we've got on the plate that we can think of. So, I didn't know if, we could shoot for next Tuesday, should have everything ready for that, or that's too soon, but I feel like just a fresh meeting, we can meet maybe at 6 o'clock. Tom, if that's okay, and be a little bit fresher.
Just remind me so I remember.
I know, yeah, this time we can do it. And, maybe I'll have the department heads there too, and that way they can kind of give you feedback and input on why they feel a certain way about something that maybe you feel differently about. So I didn't know if the 12th at 6 works good, or the 26th, and kind of doing that off week of when the council meeting is, or even a different night.
I'm free the 12th, I don't know about anybody else.
The 12th?
Yeah, don't know what everyone else's schedule's like.
I think I'm open. I forgot my phone. I'll make work for it.
well, there's a jam session at the art center at 2 on the 12th. Darn it, but yeah.
I mean, we can do it, Monday night. I don't know if people's,
Monday night football.
Or would you want to?
here down to the fire station.
Yeah. Let me think about that, that's a good idea, because there's a better conference room than this. It's a little bit tight.
Well, they're bringing in department heads.
Yeah, move around and stuff, yeah.
You gonna be doing a lot of this stuff? Yeah, let's go somewhere where I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. Someday I'll have it set up right.
We could have the technology use their audio visual equipment,
I can talk to Eric. I'm sure he'd love it.
which is kind of
Or
nice.
do you guys wanna do like a Thursday night?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday,
Always
Tuesday
night.
Wednesday night? Tuesday, okay, Tuesday.
If I go with, I'll defer to the majority.
There'll be another jam session. All right, we'll do Tuesday night at 6, and I'll email out, get that out to where, what location it is.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you. John, thank you for coming out this
Yeah.
evening.
Thank you, John.
Appreciate your efforts on this.
Thanks everybody for coming out.
With that, you stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Really? See you, Jamie. Talk when I go camping tonight. If you need a ride back,